Well, there's no question about it, folks, that Donald Trump has had a really bad week, right? Between the raid on Mar-a-Lago, the judge, or the appellate panel, not even one judge, 3 judges, saying that he has to turn his tax records over to the House committee, and then, of course, him pleading the Fifth in New York. But there's other people also having very bad weeks because of what they did with regard to Donald Trump, basically throwing in their lot with him, and now their weeks have also gone to hell. One of those people is Republican Representative Scott Perry. In an appearance on Fox News this week, Mr. Perry announced the day after Trump got raided Monday, he said that on Tuesday, well, let me just read his quote. "This morning, Tuesday, while traveling with my family, 3 FBI agents visited me and seized my cell phone. They made no attempt to contact my lawyer, who would have made arrangements for them to have my phone if that was their wish. I'm outraged, though not surprised, that the FBI, under the direction of Merrick Garland's DOJ, would seize the phone of a sitting member of Congress." He's outraged, folks. How could you do this to a sitting member of Congress that's been implicated in multiple scandals involving January 6th and, of course, the attempts to overturn the results of the 2020 election? How could you do this? How dare you hold me accountable for my own actions? Just terrible, right? I mean, honest to God, that is like the one thing Republicans hate, is being held responsible for what they do, right? And aren't they supposed to be the party of personal responsibility? Yet every time they face the consequences for their actions, they act all indignant. They act like, oh my God, how could this happen to me? Here's why it happened to you, Mr. Perry. It happened to you because there is sufficient evidence that suggests that you were in contact with Mark Meadows, Donald Trump's chief of staff, pushing a plan to get, Jeffrey Clark installed as the interim attorney general, because you knew that Mr. Clark would go along with your plans that you were involved in to help overturn the results of the 2020 election in a way that, acting attorney general Rosen wouldn't. So you wanted Clark to replace Rosen because Rosen wasn't going along with your plans. So you were conspiring with members of the Trump administration, based on the evidence we have, to replace Rosen with Clark, get him in there, overturn the results of the election. Bob's your uncle, Trump's still the president, right? And of course, we also know that Mr. Perry attended at least one meeting in the White House where they openly discussed these plans. We also know, based on testimony given to the January 6th Select Committee, that Mr. Perry was one of the individuals who wanted to get a preemptive pardon from Donald Trump. So acting indignant about the FBI seizing your cell phone, like, how could they do this to a sitting member of Congress? Dude, you asked for a pardon. Like, you knew that at some point you did something that was probably illegal. Did you just think that was going to be the end of it? Did you think that, haha, I got away with it? Nobody's ever going to come and knocking at my door? Because they did. And as you said, you were actually traveling, so they weren't even knocking at your door. Maybe they followed you. Maybe you were out to breakfast with your family. I don't know what it was. But I do know that I'm glad it happened. What we're seeing right now is not, in fact, the weaponization of the DOJ. What we're seeing is accountability. And those in power, people like Trump, people like Perry here, all of these people involved in this. For far too long, we have let people in positions of power, whether it's at the seat of a major corporation or in the highest levels of government, we have let them get away with everything. You know, Republicans, Democrats, corporatists, whoever it is, they've gotten away with far too much for far too long. That's why they're shocked that there's accountability now, because it's not something any of them are used to. They're not used to seeing their friends get confronted by FBI agents. They're not used to watching somebody who actually may have done something wrong have to answer questions about it. Because for far too long in this country, those weren't things that actually happened. So maybe the tide is changing, right? Maybe we are going to see more accountability here in the United States. I don't think any of us think that's a bad thing. Well, unless, of course, you have something to hide. Hey everyone, this is Aspen. And did you know that for the low cost of $0 per day, you can subscribe to the Fair and Balanced YouTube channel. We also encourage you to like, comment, and share, but again, click that subscribe button and help Aspen not be so grumpy.